to the Innerxsuccess Podcast.
Woo-hoo.
So my name is Kirsten Hoyle. I am the founder of Innerxsuccess Movement.
Hi, everybody. My name is Amber Surratt. I am the outreach coordinator.
All right. And we are back with another episode of the podcast. So for those who may have not tuned into our first episode or know a little bit about us, we are the Innerxsuccess Movement. We are a community that is dedicated to the journey to inner peace. And I'm so excited. We dropped our first pod on our 3-year anniversary, y'all. It's been such a blessing to literally be able to bring this vision to life for 3 years. I still can't believe it half the time. But without further ado, today we are going to be discussing physical and fitness health. And I'm really excited about this episode because me and Amber, we are workout girlies, fitness, healthy lifestyle girlies. Okay. So I'm really excited to dive into this topic. But of course we got to start with a little icebreaker. So Amber, which animal would you be and why?
So I feel like I've been asked that before, but I feel like my answer changes often. The first animal I would choose would definitely be a lion. I feel like they, embody leadership, but also they have a love for the pack. They can work in a group. So I feel like I embody that. The other one though, which is not really an animal, it's an insect, I think they are, but it's a butterfly because a butterfly just signifies going through transitions, going through phases, someone who's willing to blossom and grow. So I feel like that definitely signifies me.
Wow.
How about you?
Yes, that's so beautiful, Amber. I love that. First of all, butterflies, they hold such a beautiful place in my heart.
Right.
Yeah. So what's crazy is that, wow. Okay, so the animal I would actually be is a tiger. And you want to know what's even crazier about that? My nails are literally.
Come on, tiger.
Like, that is not on purpose or that was intentional for this episode, but it's giving intentional. Wow.
Period. And that's definitely one of my favorite animals. I love that. That's really cute.
What I love about tigers is that I feel like, and no shade to your answer, but I feel like everybody, they always talk about lion being king of the jungle, the lion this, the Leo,
right?
And that's cool all. But let me tell you, tigers are also kings in their own perspective habitats as well. And there's something about being for lack of better words, the underdog or someone that has may not have all the hype around them, but has the juice in real life. There's something about that just, you get me, I get you.
I relate to that.
Because social media and all these different things have so many good things, but in real life, there's nothing that tops real life and just being that one in real life. So I really rock with that. And I think that's how tigers do. Now, first of all, their stripes are pretty cool. I think that they're so mystique. And they just be running things. They be running things.
I love it.
Yes. And then there's so many animals that I love, that I absolutely love. But I think if there was another animal that I could be, the body would also be an elephant. I think that they're graceful, they're nurturing, and that isn't pun intended because I'm a Delta. I think that, even with their big presence, how they fill up the room, they're still so graceful, and still so delicate, and still so kind and nurturing. And I just love that.
I love it, Kirsten. I love it. I definitely agree. You embody that, friend. I definitely agree. So we are going to dive right into our topic, which I'm super excited about. Like you mentioned before, we are both workout girlies. We are passionate about fitness and health. So the first question I want to ask you is, why do you work out, Kirsten? What is your why?
Yes, girl. So I work out because I truly believe that health is wealth. And I know that's cliche, but at the same time, I truly believe that your outer body is a reflection of your inner body, and also vice versa as well. And
Yes.
I think that being able to be kind to your body, take care of your body, is really, really important along of like your journey.
I agree.
Okay, so why do you work out?
Well, for me, I agree with basically most of your points, Kirsten, and also just it's a it's a it's it's hard to put because it's such a big answer. I feel like, but working out is more than just a physical appearance. You know, it's more than just trying to look good or things that just relate to the physical. It's very much so mental health. It's very much so emotional health relating to, so and it relates spiritually, which we'll get into. So I there's more than just that physical piece. And as you're growing in strength physically, though, you're also growing in other areas. So I've enjoyed the journey of working out for those reasons.
Yeah, and I also want to take a second to just like even like hone in on the fact of like I feel like that's why I work out now,
Hmm.
right? Like being
Hmm.
able for my inner growth to reflect my outer growth. But
Yeah.
I also, if we're gonna even take it back a step further, like I started working out because um my mom wanted to break generational curses within our family.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I was in eighth grade, I was the same weight that I was now, essentially. And that's actually kind of crazy to say. I was like
Hmm.
160 pounds. I was overweight and different things like that too. And
Hmm.
my mom, on her side of the family, like diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, like that ran very heavily on her side of the family. It was almost at honestly 100% compared to my dad's side of the family. And so my mom knew, like, with those things being so heavily rooted in our family, like she used to always like preach like eat right, do better, like this is not the lifestyle that I want for you, and different things like that. So when I was in eighth
Yeah.
grade, she took me to a trainer, and I worked out with a trainer for 3 months, and during that time, like she completely changed what we ate in the house. Like completely got rid of all the Kool-Aid and all the different things and all the
Yeah.
healthy habits that we did have in our house. And um basically like that eating plan that I was following, like she cooked to that. She changed our whole household around to cater to that. And I think that that is also why I started working out. I mean, most people don't really work out in eighth grade unless they do like a sport or something like that. I was into
Hmm.
instruments. I was in band, and I didn't really, at that time I didn't play sports. I did do sports in high school and stuff like that. But um at that time I wasn't really into like those type of things. So being able to I guess learn how to work out at a young age, and then kind of understand like physical fitness, like that is also kind of like my beginning story and how why I started working out as well too.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Such a big background that's very important and impactful, and that you can share with other young women that have went through what you're going through, things like that, or went through what you went through. So I love that, Kirsten.
All right, so Amber, I wanted to ask you, like, do faith and fitness intersect for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But not in the beginning. You know, at first it was just me working out and kind of just pushing through. And then I feel stronger in other areas. But more so when I got stronger in my walk with Christ and trying to become more like Him and that came with certain situations and problems that were hard to deal with. You know, I feel like anybody can relate to that when you're having your journey and walk with Christ. You're going through some trials and situations that you've never seen. You know, you're going from glory to glory, and that comes with some trials and transitions. So anyway, when I'm working out, a lot of the times at the gym, when I'm pushing towards meeting that goal, meeting that mark, finishing at least 10 minutes on the Stairmaster, whatever it may be, whenever you're thinking about that, it also makes me feel fueled for my situation that I'm going through. I can finish this too. I'm strong. I'm more than a conqueror. You know, you start thinking about scripture, especially if you're listening to gospel while you're going through it and while you're doing your workout. So I think it definitely intersects for me in that regard. It's like you showing up for yourself at the gym and showing up for yourself in faith. It's like it's very parallel to me. But that became more to me when I got more consistent, and especially when I got more consistent in the word and in the gym. It was like coupled together. So, yep.
No,
Got you.
I feel that. Yes, girl. Be sitting there fighting through that Stairmaster and fighting through spiritual warfare at the same time,
Right.
honey. No,
That's real.
I truly believe that faith and fitness intersect for me. I kind of spoke a little bit about it earlier, but I'll definitely dive into deep into it, you know. In 2021, um I reignited my fitness journey, and I talk about how I had a trainer in 8th grade, and I stayed pretty active throughout high school. That was my first weight loss journey, I should say. And then I stayed pretty active throughout high school and college. My weight would fluctuate and different things like that too, but I was always a very active person. Um, After that first initial introduction to like fitness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
what's crazy is that as I found myself like getting away, or maybe here and there with my fitness, I think there was a time period where I was more so focused on like my internal growth, like my faith work and different things like that too. Like there was a distinct period of time where I was so focused on like you know how to like grow deeper with God, grow in my Bible, grow in my faith walk, grow in my faith journey, my inside work, my healing, all those different things. And I remember I looked up one day and I was like, wow, like I love this girl. This girl has done the work. She is healing. She's an ever evolving being. She loves herself. But then I would be so unkind to myself when I looked in the mirror because I didn't like what I see. And or I saw at the time. And like that to me, I was like, dang, like these things don't match. It doesn't even feel like a reflection of me on the outside. It just
That's good.
feel like two different beings.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when I started to and I was in a season of praying about like consistency and discipline.
Yeah.
And I do think that was like the fruit of like praying for those things, was like reigniting my fitness journey again. And literally, Amber, I got back off of a trip, and I was like, I was in the gym and I was like, today's the day. I said I'm gonna make an Instagram story and I'm gonna say that I'm gonna for accountability, and I'm going to literally like work out 7 days a week for 90 days. Why 7 days a week? Because I found myself like being almost consistent, almost there, right? Like 3 days, 4 days, and then fall off.
Yeah.
And then might not make it back for a week, but then come back. Like it was like different things like that. It was very hard to stay consistent. So I'm like, if I at least just commit to moving my body
Yeah.
for at least 30 minutes every single day,
Yeah.
it takes 90 days to create a habit. Like then from there, it can just continue to flow. And I do believe that they are their own journey, but they're connected in the same way as well. Like that same discipline and consistency I had with my faith journey, and also that same discipline and consistency I had too with my fitness journey. I feel like they overlap, but they're also individual, and
Mm-hmm.
they're connected in a way of just continuing to surrender my body, my mind, and to discipline and obedience after God's own heart.
Yeah. I love that. That's so good. That's so good. We relate for sure on that. I love that.
Yes.
So Speaking of that, and we're talking about how faith and fitness intersect, I want to know, is there a time that your outward appearance didn't necessarily match your inward? And I feel like, spiritual health relates to your inner self.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um I also realized too that like emotional eating was a part of that too. Um
Mhm.
the first time I ever really fasted, I know people be growing up in church and they be fasting their whole life. But
Right.
I grew up in church too. We just didn't fast in my house. My mom had health issues, so a lot of times when our church would fast and do different things, we didn't participate in our house. So I never fasted until 2020. That was the first time I fasted. A lot of things
Nice.
happened in 2020. The first time I meditated, the first time, but yeah, the first time I fasted
Yeah.
was in 2020, and I remember in the fast, what came up a lot for me was like emotional eating,
Hmm.
like how much I would eat to my emotions, and how that would drive like when I would eat, what I would eat, and different things like that too. And I think that once I realized like my mindsets were around that, like it's like wow, I'm like taking my emotions and taking it out on my body, and like how like that was affecting so much of me holistically. And I think that was also part of my aha moments, along with like my inside growth, and I mentioned my outside growth and different things like that. But I think for me, like getting to the point where it was like, like when you notice it and when you acknowledge it, like take action on it.
Exactly. Yeah,
On it, get some people to be accountable with you and different things like that,
that's
or
real.
and it's like we all get to that point. There's no point in being, where things that we're like, dang, like this is not what I wanted, or this is not where I want to be, or different things like that.
Hmm.
But I think it's just so much power in acknowledgement of something that doesn't match, right? When journeys or spiritual journeys don't align, and then being able to shift that in real time. So, yeah.
I love that. Amen. Amen, sis.
Was there ever
Agreed.
a time for you that they didn't match also?
Yeah, I can say plenty of times when I feel like I don't show up for myself, I can allow that to show up in my emotions and how I show up at work. If let's say, for example, if I haven't been working out in a while, just being transparent, I start to feel a way internally. And it's like, I could be going strong in my spiritual journey, but on my outward journey, sometimes it's not matching. So that is something that I've dealt with. And, a lot of the times I was going to say, even inward, I may be feeling like strong, or I'm being consistent in my word. I'm showing up. I'm doing all the things that I feel like God is telling me to do, but my outward appearance is looking like I just, it's not showing up. It's not there. But I'm going. I know that inward, I'm going. Me and God we're on the same page, but I'm just not. It's not showing up the way I want it to on the outward. So I hope that answered the question, but
No,
that I felt that way.
that's real. That's very real. I think that sometimes our inward, it can be on autopilot too. Like we're doing all the things, we're doing all the motions. But sometimes it does affect our outward too. Like we can just be going, and different things
Hmm.
like that too, and not really realizing that we're not taking the time to be in tune with ourselves
That's right.
and different things like that too. And
Yes.
I can say too, as I dig deeper in my faith, and even deeper into fitness, like because I feel like they both are just digging deeper in their own different ways.
Right.
Um, you know, I continue to grow deeper in my faith walk. Bless you, babe.
Thank you. Excuse me.
Y'all, Amber's the cutest things ever. But
Easy.
and as I dig deeper, like my faith walk and different things like that, and also like in fitness, like I just became a breath coach. I just became a Pilates instructor, and then I also, I am learning to guide meditation and different things like that as well. And it's like as I dig deeper in these things, what I realize is that the discipline doesn't really change. It actually becomes deeper and deeper and deeper. Um, and it's very interesting because you think like, oh well, I got it. I'm on a rhythm. I'm on a routine. I know what to.
Right.
I know I'm walking in my faith with God. I know that I'm in my Bible and doing my things. I know how to work these tools. I know how to do these things. And it's like, okay, well, you know how to work them, but like, it's a new day. It's a new.
Right.
You got to dig deeper. You got to be more consistent. You might have to try something new in this season that didn't work in the last season.
Yeah.
To switch it up. You might actually have to go back to something you did before to remind you of how you got to where you are
Ooh,
now. Like,
exactly.
it's so
Exactly.
many things. Like it's so many things. It's truly journeying is such a beautiful, intricate thing. It's like there's no one
It
way to
is.
do it, and you can only attack it and be present day by day. So
Right. That's real. Absolutely.
and I guess, because with fitness, right, and health and different things like that, because it happens to all of us. Like, how do you stay consistent, right? Like, and what are some tips for consistency for others? Because it's not easy to be consistent.
Okay. That bingo. It's not easy. That's the first thing to remind yourself. Be easy on yourself. It is not easy. So I feel like the first thing is to just don't overdo it. Like go in literally like I'm just going to at least walk 5 minutes today. I am just going to move, just move something. And then you feel like, okay, I did it. And then the next day, you're like, I'm gonna do 20 today. Right. And then you just keep going and you enjoy moving your body. And even like so since I've had knee surgery earlier this year, I've had to enjoy because I was huge on strength training. I need to go to the gym, I need to lift weights. Like that was my jam. And I can't do that as much anymore. And still months later, it was in May. It is now October. So I still can't really lift anything or squat as much as I want to. So anyway, I have to find a new love, which I did love yoga before, but now I'm back to stretching it out and just doing like Pilates, doing other things, but just move and start to be consistent in that. Like, okay, I'm gonna do 2 times this week. I'm gonna do Monday and Friday. Then I'm gonna do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever. And just start doing that because you love yourself, not because you're competing with anybody else, but because you love you and that's why. Like you just keep doing it for you. And that's another thing to stay consistent. I love me, and you have to remind yourself that it's a journey for all of us. But just try to remember that. And that's big for me. Like I have to remind myself that like you're not, you got to care about yourself. It's like a self-care thing. But yeah, it doesn't have to be how everyone else does it either. So that is it. And another thing I was just going to say, which I feel like I kind of did, is just mix it up and keep trying new things. Just because everybody else is going to the gym or going for a run doesn't mean that's your jam. Go play tennis or do something. So I hope that helped.
Definitely agree. And as far as, tips to stay consistent, for me, mindset is always number one. Mindset always number one. How you talk to yourself is always top tier. And the reason why is because yes, you have people that hold you accountable. Yes, you have people that are in your corner. Yes, you even have a gym buddy or got people around you that, like, hey girl, like put that burger down. We said we was going to get a salad. You know what I'm saying? You got people that are in your corner, but at the end of the day, when all those people aren't around and it's just you and you got to be able to be kind to you. You got to be able to encourage you. You got to be able to motivate you to get up off that couch, to eat that salad, to be disciplined, to say no to that thing that you want to indulge in, especially when you know that it's something that you're working towards. And
Yep.
And for that, like, mindset is always number one. I love what you said about giving yourself grace, for sure. I too hurt myself at the end of last year. I sprained my knee. And um for me, like, yoga and Pilates was a way to heal myself in the interim when I couldn't go to the gym.
Yeah.
And to realize that with a hurt knee, I could still do most of the movements. It's almost like I said to myself, I'm like, there's never an excuse again not to move. Like, God gave us literally, like, this one ailment doesn't define my entire body and what I
Right.
can do, my abilities. God gave us two hands, He gave us 2 feet, He gave us an entire body to move, and being able to service it and being able to move is such a blessing. So, like, just remembering that and just coming back to gratitude and not taking for granted that we have the ability to move,
That's real.
And a lot of times too, just remembering that, like, and when you're switching from fitness just being fitness to being a lifestyle, just remembering that it's a small portion of your day.
Yep.
Sometimes we make so many excuses of, oh, it takes too much time, oh, it's this, but like 30 minutes out of my day in the grand scheme of things is nothing. It's like a drop in the hat. So making sure to take time that focuses on you.
Yep.
And whatever that looks like. I agree with Amber. It doesn't have to be, strength training, going to the gym. It can be going for a walk. It can be taking a bike ride. It can be playing tennis. I love tennis. Like, or doing something new that you haven't done before. I'm real big on going with my friends to different workout classes. I did a Tabata class a few weeks ago, and baby, that thing tore me down. Okay.
Yes.
Like, trying different, workout classes that see what you do like and understand, treat it as fun. Like, it's not a burden. Like, treat it as fun. Like, oh, I'm about to go, kids, we used to love to go to the playground. Like, I'm about to go run around for a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or make it fun for you and whatever that is so that it can be enjoyable.
Yep.
And yeah, just make sure that you're continuing to pour love into yourself, loving your body at any phase, loving your body no matter what anybody says, no matter what the scale says, no matter what progress you're seeing, but just continue to love your body. I truly believe that if you don't love your body at every phase, you're not going to learn to love it when it gets to that phase that you're dreaming of.
Yeah.
So making sure that you're taking time to pour into you, take time for you, give yourself grace and love on your body. Yeah.
That's it. There goes the keys. That's good.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Innerxsuccess Podcast. And we hope that you continue to listen with us. And I hope that you make sure that you continue to live in perfect peace. Peace out.
Yes. Peace out, y'all.